Hi, beautiful people. Hope you all are doing well and you're keeping safe. So, I'm here to encourage someone who might be going through a very hard time, situations in their life. Maybe you're giving up. I feel like I really love encouraging people who are going through that tough time because when I do that, I also encourage myself when I go through something which is difficult in my life. While I share this, it it helps me, so we are both benefiting from this, okay? And I hope you learn something and you will take something today. We are told out of 10 take one, run with it. If someone has advised you, just take one word, run with it. And if you're trying to build your faith, like to build your faith like me, because I want my faith to be stronger, okay? So like just keep on encouraging yourself, and whenever you hear advices from other people, just take one and go with it. Let it start manifesting in your life. Let that word that someone has talked to you about, speak over it in your mind, in your head. Let it stay there. Let it be in your steps, okay? And so today I want us to read in the book of Psalms 91 verse 15. Psalms 91:15. And if you want to pray, this is a very good verse to pray with. But today we're just going to read that 15. And it says this, when he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him. I will rescue him and honor him. In other Bibles, because there are many Bibles and they do translate in different languages, so I will read another one. It says, I will answer your cry for help every time you pray, and you will find and feel my presence even in your time of pressure and trouble. I will be your glorious hero and give you a feast. Okay, so this is our word of today. You might be going through a very hard situation time at this moment. Maybe you may lose job, maybe umepoteza your baby, maybe umepoteza your fiance, your husband, wife, maybe umepoteza your family member, your brother, sister, someone who is close to you, even your friend, your colleague at work, even your neighbor, okay? Maybe someone who was close to you, or you have lost something that it was close, ilikuwa tu hivi karibu na wewe, and you feel like you're giving up. Umelose your job. You have tried to make things work. At some point they're not working. You have tried everything, it's not working. When you turn right, left, center, trouble. Inafika time like when you don't even have rent. Because when you read the Bible, you sometimes what you need to do, if you read this word, take it, put it like in your life right now. Because as for this one, the way it says that you will where is it, even in your time of pressure and trouble. I've said about trouble. Now this pressure, like you find uko in a lot of pressure, like you have to do this, people forcing you to do this, some things you don't want to do because they're out of your comfort zone, but you're being given the pressure even at work, and you feel like I can't. Well, I'm here to tell you that when you're in that situation, don't run to people. When you feel like giving up, your first option, don't think about someone. Think about who you should think about God. Because we are told when God brings when God gives you something, he wanted to bless you. But when he refuses to give you that, or when he doesn't bless you with certain things, he wanted to protect you. You get the difference. I hope you get the difference. He wanted to protect you from something. But for us human beings, we tend to see like when we pray for something and God is not giving us, when God is not responding, when God is not answering our cry on time, we tend to just go. We tend to just not focus on him a lot and dwell on other people. Like now we start looking for advice from other people. We start now to look for help from other people But in real sense, God removed certain those things. Maybe he removed people in your life, the people who are close to you. He removed even that husband of yours, that wife of yours. He separated you from them. Even your workplace. He decided to remove you from where you are working because he saw you were not safe there. He protected you. But what do we do as human? When we get into that point, we start now telling God, God, you don't love me. God, you don't care about me. God, you're taking too long. Why am I going through this? And you have said that you're God who doesn't leave or forsake us. You should understand. You should try to understand why God does or do some things in our life, in your life, before now we start judging. Because we are told this, before even you were created in your mother's womb, God knew you. He had written, you see, like this Bible, he had written everything about you. He had written everything. And he knew at this time, during this day, this season in your life, you'll come through or you'll go through something like this. But I'll have solutions. God always has solutions. God has solutions in everything that he brings our way. There's this song that Sammy K sang, and I think even it's written that when God brings temptation, not temptation, like when we go through certain difficult times in our life, God makes us to go through that road because he doesn't want to finish us, but he wants us to be strong. He wants us to keep on trusting in him. It goes like this. I think maybe if I sing, you'll know. Adoria gayedetenya magera Nigeria no tiriako manina. Like let me just stop. Like God anakujaga na majaribu, anakujaribu na tu majaribu kwa life. But si ya kukumaliza, ni ya kukumake kuwe strong. Because he knows, like, if you go through this season, you will learn something. You will come out strong. If you survive, you will come out strong. And he will make sure you survive. So don't be there. Maybe while you're watching this today, lose something. While you're watching this video today, umesimamishwa kazi. Your spouse mmekosana. You're in disagreement with your kids, your family members. People are hating you. People are separating. They're wanaji distance from you. Don't feel bad. And don't start talking. Don't start cursing. Because at that time again, you know, when you're going through this hard time, that's when now the devil comes and he might use people. He uses people because God is, the devil is ako kwa dunia. He does alikuja huku chini because he wanted to control everything in this world. Okay. And remember this. The devil tries someone. Shetani wanajaribu mtu mwenye anaona huyu akona nguvu. This person is strong in God. He has a very strong faith in God. What will I do to finish him? What will I do to make him now calm down? You should always know this, that when you're going through a tough time, that's when you'll find like people coming with different advices. Like mtu anakuja na advice hii, like you try to you think solutions, like your head in a click, do this. But unakuta sometimes when you do that, you're going to find bad results. You're going to regret later because you were not meant to do that. So when you're going through a tough time, first, stop going to look for advices from other people. Stop letting other people, what they say, bad things, stick in your head and they start dwelling in you. You start doing what they're telling you and the bad things. Because someone who influences you, mtu ana kuinfluence ufanye vitu mbaya, that's not a good person. That's not a godly person. Because a godly person is supposed to encourage you. A godly person anafaa akupati a word of hope. Na kupatia solutions which are good, which will not lead you to suffer. Okay? Okay, guys, so I would love to tell you when you're going through this, because when you read this verse, it is in that time when you're in trouble, when you feel like you're down, you can't do this. You should, even if you don't know how to pray, just take this. Pray with this. Speak these words. Start talking, telling God this. Just remind Him, God, that you have said in your book, in your word, God, that when I'm going through a tough time, I should call you. That when I'm going through a very bad situation or period in my life, I should call you. And you, God, will answer me. And you, God, will answer my prayer. Okay? So again, I would love to tell you that I had written a few things that when you are afraid, tired, sad, and you just feel like you're lonely, sometimes we all want a place to go and rest, a place where we can just find peace, a place where we can just feel safe, a place where you will go and feel like you're secure, if I can use that word, secure, a place where you just want to feel like, when I'm here, I'm okay. I'm okay. But since we all need our safe places in this world, I would advise, or I should say, that we should always take refuge in the Lord. Take refuge in the presence of the Lord. Because when you do that, nothing and no one can separate you from God's love. Let me put this in the easiest way. When you cry, it happened on me one day. I was so stressed up. I was really stressed, and I used to look this side and nikona stress, huku nikona stress. Where am I going to? And again, you feel like this thing I can't share it with people. What I'm going through, I cannot share with someone. Even if you have that close friend, you feel like, no, I can't give this person this burden. This inkikui merigo ria yothe nguite ndingihota kune mundu ungi anguire. I will feel like I'm giving someone like hard time hata kunibebea mizigo zangu. I reached to that point and I cried. I remember it reached a point where I didn't even feel like praying anymore. But one thing about me, and one thing I love about my friendship with God, is that no matter what I do, no matter how I backslide, how many times I backslide, no matter how many times I feel like I have, like, sifil kufanya hii, God has never left my side. God has never, like, His presence, it's always there with me. And that's how we should feel. Because those days that I feel like, oh God, I can't pray, I always tell God, you know my heart. You know what I want. You know the desires of my heart. Even if I feel this way, you know me. I will cry. And so it happened, I changed my position while talking, because I used to talk in another room. Now, I'm doing this because I wanted to record this at this table. Because this is where God answered my prayer that day. It was a beautiful morning, a Sunday. And that Sunday I didn't even feel like going to church. Yes, I didn't. I had stayed for about 1 month. Yes, and I said, God, when I go back to church, I don't want to stay at home again. But it came to a point, nikaanza kukaa. Because when as a believer or as a Christian or someone who fears God, when you're told your blessings are on the way, something great is coming to happen in your life, devil hears, because shetani hana nguvu ya kufanya kitu kwa life yako kama hajui. But the moment we speak, he gets power through our words. Shetani anachukua nguvu na maneno ambayo inatoka kwa midomo ya watu. That's how he uses those words. and he might rush to bring the bad blessings in your way, and you will never know. Or alete tu ka situation yani ikufikishe mwisho. So for me, he did that. God, like I felt like, no, God, no. Even if I'm this strong person, no. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I can't do this. So I cried. I remember I woke up at around 5 that day. And I've been telling God, I need to be waking up at 3. Every day, God, make me. But, and I'm telling you, when you ask God for this, he will do that. Because for me, ikifika saa 9, I'm always on. But hata alarm ikitana, ninashindwa mpaka kuamka. So this day I felt like I didn't even sleep. And I had not shared it even with anyone, even my husband. So I just woke up and I came to sit here in my dining. And I just sat on this chair on this side. It's like a testimony that I'm giving you guys. And I hope you learn something. And if you're that person who trusts in God, if you're that person who believes in God, then you should be doing this. Because I learned a lot from that day. So I was going through some difficult times in my life. And I just came here and I didn't have words to speak. I didn't have even words to pray with, but I started crying. I started crying unto the Lord. And I just started asking him, why? Why am I going through this? Why me? Why my family? Why, God, have you done this to us? Why do we feel like you've forgotten us? Till when? I was just here. No lights in this house. I was just sitting here. And then, kumetulia tu, so you feel like you're communicating to someone who is here. When sometimes I don't even pray, I just sit here and talk to God like he's sitting next to me. And I've seen that working, because as I'm doing even this, I feel the presence. I feel like I'm not alone. In these chairs, they're sitting. The Holy Spirit, he's here because he's the one who has put that urge in me to just speak about this today. Because I was just reading my Bible and I felt like, what am I supposed to tell these people, these beautiful people of God? And so I'm here to encourage you that that day, it was on Sunday, we cried. I cried and I told God, answer me. Just do something and I will forever be grateful to you. Just remember me. Because you have said in our time of cry, we call on you. You have said that in our time of hardship, neglected, we just call on you, God, and you will fill our hearts. When I'm giving up, I call upon you. You'll make me move forward. So after that, we had a very long call with my sister. We talked and God did something to us. And we are forever grateful. Especially me, I'm forever grateful because that day I knew that God, he had just prepared something, but he wanted to see, how can you approach me? What are you doing? I'm here on your door. Knock. But what do most Christians do? When you get to that point, we give up. We give up on God. We start now thinking other things which are not helping us. We are told that, you see, like this book, it's a No Greater Love, the Gospel of John. It's a novel. It's all about John. My bestie had gifted this to my baby, and I want to read it. Because, sometimes you be gifted things and you see like, tuko na message gani? It has a really good message. It's like a Bible. You just read the story of John. And so it's like this. God is here. This is your door, or this is you. God is here. He's trying to call you. He's trying to call you. God is trying to call you. Helen. Just come to me. Just look behind me. Just look behind you, not me. Behind you. Just look. Turn and look. But you, what are you doing? What are you doing, my friend? So God is trying to call you. God is trying to tell you, Helen, just look behind you. Just turn to me. I'm here. I'm already here. I'm waiting for you to turn. But what we do as human, what do I do me as Helen? I don't even think of going back. Like, the devil confuses your mind and tells you, no, you should not go and pray. You should not tell God. You should not pray. You should not request to God to intervene. You should look for people. But God is here. God is here waiting for you to come and knock. And He will open. And show you what He wanted to bless you with. But our blessings, they pass us, or they zinatupita tu kwa sababu we don't take a moment and sit back. Because we don't take a moment and pray. Because we don't take a moment and just have a conversation with God. Have a conversation with our daddy. With our Father. That day I learned a lot. And through that again, I would love to tell you this. When God blesses you with something that you have been praying for, be really careful. Be really careful, because even during that time, you will be tempted to continue doing the same mistakes that you used to do before that. Let's say if you are praying for God to bless you with a good work. Then your previous work, or maybe job that you were employed at, you used to steal to small things. You used to feature some changes. Ukiona mtu amebai kitu mingi unamwekelea pesa ingine juu. You go with that. And God saw that, no, you asked for me to bless you with a good work that will sustain you, but you are not doing the right thing. Akaondoa hiyo kazi. Now, you have asked Him, you have requested Him to bless you with another opportunity, another job. He did that. And you promised Him, God, if you do this one thing, I will never repeat the same mistakes that I did. But Shetani ni nani? If Satan went and asked Jesus God for the permission to test Simon, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? The devil uses what he knows, and that's what people use. Even people uses what they know against you. People use what they know to destroy you. People use what they know to finish you. Take your problems to God. So be really careful. You have promised God. Amekupatia ndio hii. Amekupatia Helen, shika hii ndio unataka shika. But He wants to look. How faithful are you to your words? How honest are you to your words? Because that's where we mess again. That's where we mess. We are being blessed, but we forget. That's where we mess. But I'm here to tell you, if you're there and you're crying for something, the book of God has said, call unto me and I will answer you in your time of trouble, in your time of pressure. I will answer you. I will give you honor. He will be your hero and He will give you a feast. What is feast? He will give you anything. You will eat, you will drink, you will stay the life that you want, that you desired. But will you use those things to glorify His name? Will you use the blessings that He has given you to glorify His name? That's the question we should ask ourselves. And we should always stick to our words. That is one thing that God has taught me. Because since He did this, He answered my prayers. Now it's upon me. I assured Him one day, one time, God, if you do this in my life, I will never repeat the same mistakes that I used to do. Be faithful, okay? Because He will surely answer your call, your cry. But don't be fooled to repeat the same mistakes that you did. Okay. And so that's it. Let me stop talking a lot, but I wanted to encourage you with that. I wanted you to learn something through that testimony of mine. I wanted you to learn something. And so on this, when you read this Psalms 91, it assures you that God offers hope. He will give you hope and assurance that everything will be okay. He will do everything that he has said. Okay? And so if you have any problem, if you have any troubles in your life, don't worry, just pray about it. If you're going through that trouble, that season, tough time in your life, take it to God. Pray about it. Speak to him. And he will do something. He will surely answer you. Okay? He will surely answer you. He will surely answer you because he's a God who fulfills his promises. He promised Abraham that he will bless him. He will bless his land. And he did that. Our God is not a God who just speaks. He's a God who speaks and does exactly what he says. But even us as Christians, even us as human beings, we're supposed to learn from that. Because when you read the Bible, those people that God prayed and to God and they requested God for something, they followed what God wanted, they offered the sacrifices, and God surely blessed them. Even if you don't have a sacrifice at this point, just pray to God. Okay? And so I would love to give you some few notes, or maybe something that you can take, or something that will encourage you. That when you call and carry and when you call and carry the name of God, all things works well. When you call and carry, just walk with the word of God. Just walk with his words. Just walk believing in him. And all things will work. Put God first in every situation that comes your way. Let God be the center. Let him be first, center, and last. Put God first. And always know that when you call the name of God, the name of Jesus, it has power. The name of Jesus has power. Okay? So that's what I wanted to encourage you with something. And another thing that I would love to give you a take on today is know that you have been given authority over your life. Yes, you have the authority to command things to disappear from your life, the bad things, and they disappear. You have the authority to control anything good. Okay? And always know that we shall overcome by the power of Jesus and your testimony. I've given you a testimony, and I have spoke about the power that God has. Because I've told you, I cried, I requested him, I asked him, I called unto him, and through the power, he came. Now it's upon me to testify with my mouth what the Lord has done. And that's what I'm doing. I'm testifying for all the goodness that he has done in my life. So whenever God does something in your life, testify it, speak it, to just put powers in those words. Okay? So don't feel like giving up. Don't be discouraged. And wherever you're going through, take it to God. Take it to our Father. Pray about it. Talk to him. He listens, and he will surely answer your call. So I hope you're blessed, and I hope you've learned something. And if you have learned something, take one and let it start manifesting in your life. Out of all the things that I've said, take one and pray with it. So be blessed.